Your divine moment was sealed on September 27. Heaven is still waiting on your response. One more delay and what was meant for breakthrough may turn into judgment. Open now before it's too late. September 27. A day sealed in heaven. Mark it. Remember it. Weigh it with reverence. For on that day time split. The scroll was sealed. The hand of God moved across the heavens, and a verdict was rendered. This was not just another day, another sunrise, another turning of the calendar. No, September 27 was an appointment, a divine threshold, a holy hour in which destinies were written and instructions were whispered from the throne room. In silence, the courts of heaven convene. In stillness, the angels stood at attention. And across the earth, in bedrooms and boardrooms, in cars and cathedrals, there was a hush, a stillness, a spiritual pressure. Something eternal passed through the temporal. I, Archangel Michael, standing as a witness to the divine proceedings, declare this now with urgency and weight. This was not symbolic. This was not poetic. This was a real timestamp in heaven, a narrow window between blessing and judgment, a holy divide between what could be unlocked and what may be shut forever, a moment sealed in the spirit, with heaven's eyes watching, still waiting for your response. You may have felt it, a stirring that day, a sudden pause, a weight upon your soul. A dream shifted. The atmosphere thickened. Even nature felt it. Birds stopped mid-flight. Wind held its breath. The realm between heaven and earth thinned for a moment. It was holy ground, and for some, it passed unnoticed. But not for you. Because your name, beloved, was registered in the scroll on the date. This message is not for all. No, it is not broadcast to the masses. This is for the ones whose names were whispered in the council chambers of the Most High. This is for those who were marked by heaven on that very date. The seal was applied. And now, what remains is your yes, your surrender, your stillness, your obedience. Without it, the seal holds, but the door remains closed. I speak now of the silence that was required. The moment your soul felt the press to be still, to withdraw, to listen. That was not confusion. That was invitation. The midnight knock in your spirit. That was heaven calling. The sealed scroll. That was the evidence of your appointed moment. And now the pressure builds again. Heaven has done its part. The courts have spoken. The seal has been delivered. The gate is unlocked. And now, heaven waits for your yes. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Listen. The courts of heaven convened on September 27. Can you feel it now? That pressure in your chest. That pull on your spirit. That is not emotion. It is remembrance. Because something eternal was spoken over you, and your soul remembers. September 27 was not just a date. It was a divine decree, issued in the highest courtroom of heaven. This was the moment your name echoed through the chambers of the Almighty. I speak not from the voice of man, but from the watchtower of glory. I am Michael, Prince of the heavenly host, and I declare to you now, the seal has been placed, and the clock is ticking. Before the next sunrise, within the next 48 hours, by the close of this very week, your answer must resound in the Spirit. Delay no longer. Heaven cannot and will not wait indefinitely. The weight of divine justice is delicate, and your next move could tip the scale. There is no neutral ground. The window between blessing and judgment is razor thin, and you now stand at the edge of it. Some of you were interrupted. The date Sept. 27 came with dreams, with agitation, with sudden shifts. You felt the atmosphere in your home change. You sensed the spirit brooding. Maybe it was a phone call that startled you, or a friend who grew cold without warning. Maybe you awakened that morning with a strange awareness. Something unseen was watching, waiting, moving. That was not paranoia. That was heaven knocking. You didn't imagine it. You weren't overreacting. This is not coincidence. This is appointment. If your spirit feels this now, it is for you. If your heart is beating faster, if your breath feels shortened, if you're trembling and you don't know why, do not dismiss it. This is the Holy One calling you back to the threshold. This is the moment to bow the head, to quiet the noise, to open your hands. Heaven speaks to those who postured themselves to listen. So I declare now, prophetically and without apology, the seal is upon your destiny. The scroll hath been written. The gates are unlocked. But heaven waits for one thing, your yes. Yes to the assignment. Yes to the separation. Yes to the cost. Yes to the silence. Yes to the surrender. You must not delay again. Do not become casual with divine timing. Do not toy with the sacred. I ask you now, will you say yes or will you delay? Will you obey or will you rationalize? Will you answer or will you watch your moment pass you by? This is not just an invitation. This is a summons. You were marked, not just for blessing but for movement. What heaven sealed, hell cannot touch, but you can forfeit it by apathy. Do not be your own adversary. Do not become the delay to your own unlocking. I speak this under holy command. You have been summoned. You have been sealed. You have been chosen. Say yes. Whisper it. Weep it. Write it. Just say yes. Heaven has already moved. Now you must respond. This is your divine appointment. This is your sealed moment. And heaven is listening. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There is more going on than you see. Pay attention. Something shifted, didn't it? It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. But it was undeniable. You started noticing the little things. Eyes that once met yours now avoid you. Conversations that once welcomed you now pause when you enter the room. Invitations have gone strangely silent. People have become distant. And it's not your imagination. It's not just life. Something sacred is unfolding behind the curtain, and you're caught in the middle of a spiritual disruption cloaked in human behavior. You have been feeling the weight of invisible lies. You've walked into rooms and felt the air grow thick. There's been a sudden coolness from people you once trusted. Messages left unread. Calls unanswered. Opportunities paused. Doors half opened, then suddenly slammed shut. But hear this. These are not rejections. These are signals. Spiritual symptoms of something greater unfolding in the realm of the unseen. They know something is happening to you, even if they can't name it. They sense the shift. They feel the oil on your name. They smell the fire on your garments. They sense that you've been summoned, but they don't know how to respond. So they retreat. Yours, they murmur. They gather in quarters. They whisper in the dark. They project confusion to hide their own discomfort with your elevation. What you're seeing now is the emotional fallout of a spiritual marking. You were sealed on September 27, and heaven does not place a seal without creating a ripple in the natural. Those ripples look like betrayal, isolation, even loss, but it's not punishment. It's protection. Heaven is rearranging your circle, trimming your access points, silencing counterfeit voices. You are not being abandoned, you are being hidden. But it still hurts. The nights are longer. The dreams are heavier. Your spirit won't let you rest. You've been waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. with an ache you can't explain. You're not at war with people. You're in the midst of a divine extraction. And the Lord is removing what can't walk with you into what was written for you on September 27. The vision you carried demands a clearing. The assignment requires privacy. The oil demands a new wineskin. And yet, confusion creeps in. Is this warfare? Is this spiritual? Or are people just changing? But the truth is it's both. You're standing in the middle of heavenly conflict, and every disruption is a clue. Every delay is a dot heaven is asking you to connect. Here is a hidden hand moving pieces behind the scenes. Alignments are being broken before they can break you. Motives are being revealed before they can sabotage you. This is not chaos. This is divine intervention. You must pay attention. You must discern. You must interpret what is happening not with your eyes, but with your spirit. Look again at what fell apart. Look again at who walked away. What if that loss was a lifeline from heaven? What if the betrayal was allowed to protect the integrity of your anointing? This is not the season to grieve what left. This is the hour to watch what remains. Because what's left after the silence, that's what was meant to say. There is more going on than you see. Pay attention. Type "I will not miss my moment" in the comments if this word speaks to you. Blessing code 7744 is flowing over you now. The weight you feel in this moment is no accident. If this message has pierced your spirit, it's because heaven is calling you into alignment, and you are being trusted with revelation that others cannot carry. These prophetic words are unlocking hearts across the earth, and your support helps us reach those who are still in silence, still in battle, still in hiding. This is your opportunity to sow into the harvest of deliverance. When you give, you're not giving to a platform. You're sowing into purpose, into the kingdom, into divine reversal. Isaiah 55:11 declares that God's word will not return void, and today, your generosity helps that word go forth like fire. I feel led to say this. If you've received, release. If you've been sealed, sow. If you've been blessed, build. You can support this mission through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or by sowing directly through PayPal. The link is in the description. Your giving is not charity. It is warfare. It is alignment. It is obedience. Be the one who helps heaven speak louder. Give now. Seal it with faith. This is not random. This is calibrated. Let this settle in your spirit now. What you are experiencing is not disorder. It is design. It is not chaos. It is confrontation. You are not being punished. You are being purified. The conflict that has erupted around you, in your home, in your friendships, in your body, even in your finances, It is not human drama. It is heavenly strategy. What looks like confusion is actually a holy confrontation, orchestrated not by man, but by the divine. You were sealed on September 27, and the moment that seal touched your name, your battle shifted dimensions. The resistance didn't come because you failed. It came because you were recognized. Hell saw the marking. The adversary smelled the oil. And the moment your identity was confirmed in heaven, the enemy mobilized his counterfeit forces. You are not under attack because you're weak. You are under attack because you've been chosen. The warfare is proof of your calling. The turbulence is confirmation of your transition. And every dart, every whisper, every delay is a sign that you've been targeted, not for defeat, but for promotion. But here is the mystery. How you respond in this moment determines the next movement. Not just for you, but for generations after you. If you react in fear, you empower the very spirit that seeks to entangle you. If you retaliate in anger, you forfeit the shield of heaven's defense. But if you remain silent, if you stay hidden under his wing, if you walk in obedience instead of impulse, the angels are loosed on your behalf. Do you understand? Stillness is not surrender. Silence is not weakness. Obedience is not passivity. It is warfare of the highest kind. Right now, there is spiritual surveillance all around you. The watchers are watching. The courts are listening. The accuser is probing. Every word from your lips is weighed. Every emotion is recorded. Every reaction is either a weapon or a wall. In this hour, heaven is calling you to discernment. Not everything deserves a response. Not every comment deserves correction. Not every enemy deserves your attention. You must learn to preserve your oil and protect your peace. Your silence is not just wisdom. It's a weapon. Let me speak plainly to your spirit. You are being sifted. The fire is hot because the dross is rising. The pressure is intense because the weight of your next season is heavy. The tension is divine. You are being refined like gold, shaken like wheat, drawn like a sword. The battle isn't personal. It's prophetic. You are walking the map of destiny, and every tit, every betrayal, every delay was already accounted for. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Do not mistake divine training for abandonment. Do not mislabel the fire as failure. The Father has his eyes on you. The Spirit is brooding over you. And I, Michael, stand at the edge of your battle line, sword drawn, watching to see your posture. Do not flinch. Do not fall back. Do not curse what God is using to crown you. The pain is real, but so is the promise. Lift your eyes, beloved. You are not lost. You are in position. The breaking is not for destruction. It is the sound of heaven cracking open what is false, to reveal what is unshakable. Your resistance is not rejection. It is revelation. Heaven is revealing what cannot go with you. It is showing you what must be cut, what must be cleansed, what must be left behind. This is not random. This is calibrated. Every arrow has been weighed. Every trial has been measured. And you are still standing because you are still chosen. Type I am still standing in the comments if this word confirms your battle. Blessing code 8855 is encamping around you. Do not be the one who let heaven wait. Hear me now. The next movement is already stirring. What has been concealed will soon be revealed. Heaven is not the only realm that has taken notice of your seal. The enemy has studied your patterns. He has traced your lineage. He knows what was written about you on September 27, and he has begun to move, not because he's stronger, but because he's desperate. Something is about to escalate, and if you do not act with discernment, if you continue to delay, you risk stepping out of rhythm with the very thing that heaven orchestrated for your deliverance. Within 72 hours, the pressure will intensify. I speak this not to bring fear, but to awaken you to the urgency of the hour. A conversation is being prepared without your name, but with your influence on the table. A decision is being made in a room you thought was closed. A shift in relationships is about to happen suddenly. The movement will be subtle. A phone call missed, an email delayed, a door that looked certain beginning to waver. Do not take it lightly. These are signals. These are prophetic signs that your silence and your surrender must become action. Now, there is a plot forming. A shifting of alliances that looks natural on the outside but is demonic in its design. The adversary is attempting to provoke you to speak prematurely, to defend what heaven is still hiding, to react when heaven is still watching. Do not be baited. What feels like gossip is a setup. What looks like loss is a test. Every fracture of trust, every rumor, every stolen moment of clarity is meant to either draw you into divine timing or pull you into premature exposure. One more delay, one more emotional misstep, and what was meant to be your breakthrough could harden into a season of judgment. Yes, this is how serious it is. You are at the brink of a split. There is a shaking in the air. You feel it, the instability in conversations, the unspoken tension in relationships, the sudden warfare in your finances, the strange fog over your clarity. You're not imagining it. This is the final hour before a shift in the spirit realm, and if you do not act in obedience, the opening meant for favor could become a closing meant for refinement. There is no middle ground. Do not be casual with this moment. Heaven has invested too much. The scroll has been sealed. The warning has been released. The angels have taken their positions. And the adversary, he's watching to see if you will forget the date, if you will dismiss September 27 as just another moment. But it was the day your name was stamped for unlocking. The day heaven set things in motion, things your eyes have not seen, but your spirit has felt. Let me tell you plainly, delay will cost you. And not just you. Your hesitation can ripple across your household, your ministry, your legacy. This moment is not about preference. It is about obedience. And every second you linger in indecision, the pressure mounts. The weight increases. The enemy draws closer. What was once a blessing on the edge can become a lesson in delay. And you were not called to learn this lesson again. Not this time. Listen now. Watch your dreams. Pay attention to sudden conversations. Notice the shift in the atmosphere of places you once felt safe. A meeting is coming. An opportunity is about to rise again, not because of your effort, but because heaven is giving you one last window. Will you act? Will you respond? Or will heaven wait in silence while time passes and the seal begins to dim? Do not be the one who let heaven wait. Type "I will move" with heaven in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing code 3003 is now activating divine alignment. Be still. Heaven fights when you don't. You have reached the most dangerous place in your transition, the place between divine warning and personal decision. The place where the air is charged, but the path remains veiled. A moment when the enemy prowls, not with force, but with subtle distraction. Right now, your destiny is too heavy for careless words, too fragile for flesh-driven decisions, too sacred for noise. And so the voice of the Lord calls thy ration, but for stillness. Not for debate, but for silence. Not for retaliation, but for holy restraint. Be still. I, Michael, the one appointed to war on behalf of the chosen, speak this over you now. The battle is not yours. It was never yours. The moment you were sealed on September 27, the order was given. The host of heaven stood to attention. Angels were dispatched. Scrolls were opened. Declarations were made. And now, your greatest strategy is not to fight, but to surrender into stillness. Withdraw from the noise. Retreat from unnecessary conversations. Fast not for manipulation, but for clarity. Do not argue with those who cannot see. Do not plead with those who are not assigned. Heaven is clearing the air around you. Will you keep clouding it with noise? If you want to survive this hour, if you want to pass this test and step through the opening September 27 activated, you must do 3 things. Be still, be silent, be obedient. There are scrolls still being opened in your name, and every word you release in this season is either an arrow against your enemies or a curse against your future. Guard your mouth. Guard your mind. Guard your movements. Heaven is watching how you navigate the silence. Make war with your whisper. Declare in your secret place, I am sealed and kept by the Lord. Speak over your soul, my yes is my shield. Write it where your eyes can see it. What was sealed will not be stolen. These are not mantras. They are prophetic war cries. Every time you say them, you align with heaven's activity. Every time you declare them, you reinforce what was written about you before time began. Go to your quiet place. Let the world rush by, but you must stay hidden. Every time you step out to explain yourself, you interrupt the angels on assignment. Every time you try to justify your silence, you unravel the stillness God is using to cloak you. Stay hidden. Stay low. Stay under the wing of the Most High. Watch everything. Write what you see. Listen for confirmations. Keep a journal beside your bed. The Spirit is whispering, and the clues will not always come through sermons. They will come through headlines, phone calls, sudden shifts, strange dreams, and unexplainable peace. These are heaven's breadcrumbs, and only the still will notice them. Connect only with the 1 or 2 trusted intercessors assigned to you in this hour. Do not cast your pearls to the crowd. The revelation you carry is too delicate. You are under surveillance, both divine and demonic, and heaven is testing your discretion. You are not losing your voice. You are preserving your crown. You are not retreating. You are being strategically positioned for the next movement. Remember, stillness is not inaction. It is prophetic resistance. Silence is not defeat. It is sacred alignment. Obedience is not passivity. It is the highest form of war. So I say again, be still. Heaven fights when you don't. Type I choose stillness in the comments if this word settles in your spirit. Blessing code 9911 is guarding your gates. You are not who they think you are. It is time to rise, not with arrogance but with holy fire, not with noise but with authority. Because what you've endured, the silence, the betrayal, the divine stillness, the stripping, the delay. It has not broken you. It has built you. What looked like a burial was, in truth, a planting. And now the seed is cracking open beneath the soil. Something is stirring within you that neither enemy nor environment can suppress any longer. The shaking was never to destroy you. It was to expose the strength you forgot you carried. Let this be spoken over you now, clearly and without hesitation. You are not a victim of this season. You are a vessel, consecrated for power. You are not the abandoned one. You are the anointed one. And though they may have misunderstood you, though the world labeled you according to your last season, heaven has rewritten your name. What they dismissed, God preserved. What they mocked, heaven marked. And now, what they tried to cover is being called forth. You are rising. You are rising from the ashes of disappointment. You are rising from the silence of obscurity. You are rising from the delays that almost made you give up. You are rising, and the flame is not behind you. It's inside you. This fire is not for destruction. This fire is for clarity. This fire is your refiner's flame. And with that fire comes a holy empowerment. You do not need validation from those who left. You do not need permission from those who doubted. You do not need the applause of the crowd to confirm what heaven already sealed on September 27. You have authority not because of what you did, but because of what you survived. The crying was your consecration. The stillness was your sanctification. And now, the same spirit that called you into silence is calling you into strength. But hear me, this strength is not loud. It is not boastful. It is precise. It moves with wisdom. It waits with patience. It acts when heaven says, now. Do not confuse movement with momentum. Heaven's kind of empowerment is strategic obedience. Take small steps. Speak when instructed. Move when stirred. This is how you maintain heaven's rhythm. And now declare your identity not based on emotion but revelation. Say it aloud, even now. I am not forgotten. I am not disqualified. I am not late. I am chosen. I am refined. I am rising. Say it again, until your soul catches up to your spirit. Until the atmosphere around you submits to what you already know to be true. And soon, doors that were locked will begin to shift. You won't have to force them. You won't have to strive. The same spirit that sealed you will usher you. Because when heaven opens a door, no man can shut it, and no devil can counterfeit it. But do not step through with ego. Step through with honor. Empowerment is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving God right. You don't rise to retaliate. You rise to represent. And when the time is right, your voice will return. Not the old one marked by pain and reaction, but a new one. A voice shaped in silence. A voice tempered in fire. A voice heaven can trust. Because that is the mark of true empowerment. You no longer speak to be heard. You speak to bring alignment. So rise, not just with boldness, but with divine restraint. Rise with fire in your bones and wisdom on your tongue. Heaven is no longer hiding you. Heaven is beginning to reveal you, but only as much as your character can carry. This is not a platform moment. This is a placement moment. You're not being promoted by men. You are being positioned by God. You are not who they think you are. You are far greater, because heaven knows who you are. Type "I am rising" in the comments if your identity is being restored. Blessing code 4141 is strengthening your inner man. This was sealed for your unlocking. Open your mouth and take it. Now listen carefully. Let your soul lean in. Because what you have walked through was never random. The warfare, the silence, the delay, the stripping, the betrayal, the calling out, the divine stillness. All of it, every step, every sleepless night, every closed door, every unanswered question, was heaven's way of pulling you into the center of a much bigger story. You were not being broken down. You were being drawn in. Drawn into the blueprint of divine unlocking that was sealed for you on September 27. And now, heaven is ready to reveal why. You were never being punished. You were being prepared. You were never being overlooked. You were being hidden for preservation. What you thought was loss was actually positioning. The rejection you mourned was a redirection you needed. The confusion you felt was heaven's language, coded in mystery, speaking to the deeper chambers of your spirit. And now, in this hour, that mystery is beginning to unfold. The scroll is opening. The seal is breaking. The purpose behind your pain is about to speak. For some, the unlocking will happen in your finances. There has been a strange drought over your resources, not because you were cursed, but because heaven was teaching you not to worship the provision, but the provider. The delay was divine, so that when the release comes, your hands will be clean. The overflow is coming, but it will not feed your flesh. It will fund your assignment. For others, the revelation is in your relationships. What you thought was the ending of covenant was actually the clearing of counterfeits. The loneliness, the silence, the ghosting, the distance, all of it was heaven removing voices that were too weak to carry the weight of your destiny. And now, God is preparing to send replacements that are not loud, but loyal. Not famous but faithful. Not flattering but assigned. And for many, the greatest unlocking will be in your calling. You have sensed the weight of purpose for years, but doors remained shut. You knew there was more, but every step seemed barricaded. That was not denial. That was divine timing. Heaven refused to let you walk through a gate you weren't spiritually mature enough to carry. But now, the testing is nearing its completion. The oil has settled. The sword has been forged. The voice has been refined. And heaven is saying, now. But remember this. The revelation is conditional. Heaven will not pour out increase into hands that still carry bitterness. Heaven will not unlock destiny for mouths that curse their own process. If you want the blessing, you must bless the breaking. If you want the mantle, you must honor the fire that shaped you. The promise is ready, but the posture still matters. So open your mouth. Speak what heaven is saying. Declare what was sealed. Don't wait for another confirmation. Don't ask for another sign. This is the sign. This is the moment. This is the word that tells you you're not waiting on heaven anymore. Heaven is waiting on you. You were not random. You were revealed. And this is the hour that what was hidden in you becomes undeniable in the earth. You are walking into the reason behind the silence, into the clarity born from the confusion, into the blessing that grew out of the breaking. You've been prepared. You've been tested. You've been marked. Now comes the revealing. This was sealed for your unlocking. Open your mouth and take it. Type "I receive what heaven sealed" in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 1818 is opening scrolls with your name. What you're hearing is not just a word, it's an invitation into destiny. This message, this voice, this moment is not entertainment. It's spiritual alignment for those chosen to walk in what heaven sealed on September 27. And right now, there are souls across the globe who still need to hear it. But they can't receive what they haven't heard unless someone makes a way. When you give, you're not helping us, you're helping heaven reach them. Every super thanks, every membership, every seed sown through PayPal fuels the release of God's word across digital territory. You're sowing into scrolls being opened. You're watering destinies ready to bloom. You're funding prophetic clarity in a world choking on confusion. God said in 2 Corinthians 9:10, "He who supplies seed to the sower will increase your store and enlarge the harvest of your righteousness." Your support activates a supernatural cycle. What you give into revelation, heaven multiplies back into your life. There's a link to donate via PayPal in the description. You can also become a channel member or give a super thanks right now. Don't wait. This is holy ground. Sow into the sound and watch heaven open what was once sealed. Say it now. Heaven is listening. Now is the moment of activation. You've heard the call. You've survived the silence. You've endured the warfare. You've witnessed the separation. You've discerned the signs. But none of it means anything unless you respond. Because heaven never seals what it does not expect to be opened. What was written in the scrolls concerning you on September 27 was not symbolic, it was an official decree. But decrees remain dormant until the one who is named responds with action. Your breakthrough, your promotion, your unlocking, it hinges on your response. And that response must come now. This is not the hour to wait for another confirmation. This is the hour to align with what's already been spoken. Don't miss this. Alignment is not a feeling. Alignment is not emotional. Alignment is obedience in motion. Heaven has done its part. The word has been released. The signs have been given. The Spirit has whispered. And now is your turn to step into what was written. Not next week. Not tomorrow. Now. Take action in the Spirit. Right here. Right now. Speak out a covenant yes. Say it with your mouth. I say yes to what heaven sealed. Say it again. I step into what was written about me. This is not religious repetition. It is a spiritual activation. Angels are still listening. Heaven is still waiting. The seal that was placed on September 27 is still warm. And what you speak now, in this moment, begins to unlock what you could not reach before. If you're serious about your yes, then move like it. Don't just speak, act. Take one small, obedient step. Send the message you've been delaying. Forgive the one heaven told you to release. Cut off the tie that keeps draining your strength. Sow the seed that your heart hath been wrestling with. Begin writing the plan you were told to start. Make the phone call. Walk the land. Write the vision. Sign the paper. Apply. Step out. Say yes. These are not small gestures. They are prophetic agreements with what was already decreed. Heaven responds to faith in motion. And faith, in this hour, looks like a life that moves in alignment. Do not think for a second that your steps are unnoticed. Every move you make in obedience causes tremors in the unseen. Every time you obey, the seal glows brighter. Every act of alignment becomes an echo in the courts of heaven. They have said yes. Let the next scroll be open. You need to understand this. There are blessings prepared, waiting for the sound of your yes. There are angels on assignment, paused until you take that next step. There are doors, already swinging open, just waiting for your obedience to match your revelation. You were never waiting on God. Heaven had been waiting on you. So say it now. Don't wait. This is sacred ground. Don't forfeit it by delay. Say, I am aligned with heaven. My yes is my weapon. What was sealed for me is now opening. I am not afraid to move. Heaven is listening, and I am responding. And as a prophetic act, do something physical to mark this moment. Kneel. Right. Wib. What? Lift your hands. Open your Bible. Give. Cast it. Sever it. Speak. Woof. Let your body come into agreement with what your spirit already knows. You've been chosen. You've been summoned. And this is your divine moment. Say it now. Whisper it. Shout it. Weep it. Just don't stay silent anymore. Say it now. Heaven is listening. Type ISAYY yes to heaven in the comments if you're moving in obedience. Blessing code 2929 is unlocking your next scroll. While you sleep, heaven speaks. While you cry, heaven records. There are transactions happening in the unseen. Not loud. Not chaotic. Not visible to the natural eye. But deep in the spirit realm, where scrolls are read, where angels carry documentation, where thrones are set and records are reviewed, there is movement. You may feel like nothing is changing. You may feel like heaven is silent. But I tell you now, something sacred is being exchanged on your behalf. While you sit in surrender, while you wait in stillness, while you obey in silence, there is a ledger being updated with your name on it. You must understand this. Nothing was wasted. Not your tears. Not your worship. Not your midnight obedience. Not the moments when you turned the other cheek, held your tongue, or gave without being seen. Every sacrifice has been counted, and every loss hath been tracked. Heaven operates on the law of record, and your obedience had been documented in the vaults of glory. This is not religion. This is divine administration. I, Michael, have stood in the chamber of witnesses and watched as angels presented scrolls, each containing evidence of your faithfulness in private. And while you thought heaven was silent, it was actually in session. While you thought you were widowed, you were being weighed. And now, in the realm above realms, a silent exchange is underway. What was stolen is being negotiated for return. What was delayed is being recalibrated. What was taken is being redeemed. In the spirit, it looks like this. Ledgers are being reviewed. Pages are being turned. There is a table in the throne room where records of injustice are laid out, and beside them, your name is written in fire. Angels are speaking your name in the presence of the Most High. Advocates have stood to speak on your behalf, angelic, eternal, ancestral, pleading not by emotion but by evidence. The evidence of your yes. The evidence of your surrender. The evidence of your waiting when others ran. You must know this truth. Restoration is not delayed. It is being designed. A transaction has begun, and what you thought you lost is not lost at all. It is held in the storehouses of divine justice. It is being converted, even now, into something greater. You will not get back the same thing. You will get back more. You will receive what matches the level of transformation you have undergone. This is not a return of what was. This is a return of what is now required for who you've become. But you must remain in the posture of trust. For this kind of exchange only happens in quiet, in rest, in peace. Human noise interferes with heavenly transfer. Complaining clogs the pipeline. Bitterness blocks the scrolls from being released. So guard your spirit. Stay hidden. Remain in expectation. Because the negotiation is already in motion, and your name is being honored in heaven. You'll not think you've been forgotten. The silence was not abandonment. It was strategy. The waiting was not punishment. It was preparation. And now, as you walk in alignment, heaven is calculating the return. The scrolls are being sealed. The angels are being dispatched. The recompense is real. Let this settle in your spirit. Heaven has not overlooked one detail. Not one tear. Not one step. Not one loss. It's all being turned into glory. The exchange has begun. Type "I receive my return" in the comments if you know something is shifting in the unseen. Blessing code 4411 is releasing silent justice in your favor. What they meant for harm will return to them tenfold. Justice is not delayed. It is precise. Divine justice does not miss, and it does not forget. Though it may seem like wickedness flourishes without consequence, heaven is not blind. Though you've walked through seasons where mockers laughed, doors slammed, and the faithful seemed to fall behind, the scales of heaven have not been tipped unjustly. They have been waiting for the moment of reversal, and that moment is now in motion. The Lord says, "Vengeance is mine. I will repay." Not someday, not eventually. Now, the God who sealed your name on September 27 has not only called you into destiny, He has also issued judgment on every voice that rose against it. A ridicule, a sabotage, the quiet betrayals, the unspoken curses, the spiritual opposition, the manipulation behind closed doors. None of it escaped the eyes of the watchers. And now, heaven is responding. This reversal is not petty payback. It is divine restoration with precision. What was meant to break you is about to build you. What was sent to bury you is about to elevate you. And those who laughed, those who lied, those who labeled you, they will watch as the Lord lays a table before you. Not as vengeance, but as vindication. This is not about ego. This is about God proving Himself faithful to those who refuse to bow under pressure. You're about to witness the kind of justice only heaven can orchestrate. A promotion they said you missed. It's coming back, and it will be larger than you expected. The opportunity they blocked. It's returning, and it will be beyond your former qualifications. The time they wasted, God is restoring it in acceleration. The fruit they tried to steal, heaven is multiplying it in secret, and it will spring forth in public. Every no that was fueled by deception is being overruled by heaven's yes. But don't miss this. The divine reversal requires your restraint. Do not curse those who cursed you. Do not gloat. Do not retaliate. Do not wish them harm. You are not called to carry vengeance. You are called to carry glory. And if you reach for vengeance with your own hands, you forfeit the portion heaven was preparing to deliver. Let the Lord vindicate you. Let him make it right. You will do it in a way that silences every lie and lifts your head in honor. There are doors opening now that your enemies cannot stop, and there are doors closing behind them that they cannot reopen. The same people who orchestrated your exit are about to watch your re-entry, not because of your strength, but because of heaven's decree. Some will repent, others will vanish, but all will know God was with you the entire time. Your endurance has been your testimony. Your silence has been your weapon. Your obedience has been your protection. And now, your reward is being released, not as a bribe, not as compensation, but as heavenly justice. This is the hour when the God of reversal flips the script. Debts canceled, reputations restored, favor released, honor returned, position redeemed. And this isn't just about you. The reversal is generational. What your family lost, what your bloodline forfeited, what was stolen decades ago, God is revisiting it through you. You were the one chosen to carry the justice others prayed for. You were the one trusted to endure the silence so that your children would live in the blessing. And now, you are standing at the edge of divine compensation. Do not fear. Justice is here, and it bears your name. Type "my God is just" in the comments if this word confirms your season. Blessing code 5757 is releasing reversal and recompense over your house. You are sealed, seen, and sent. Rise. Let this final word fall on you like fire, not the kind that consumes, but the kind that consecrates. Because everything that needed to be said has been spoken. Everything that needed to be revealed has come forth. And now, the choice is yours. At a move on September 27, a seal was applied. Your name was spoken. A scroll was written. And now, even as the days have passed, heaven is still waiting for your response. You must not forget what was sealed in that moment. You must not grow casual with sacred timing. This wasn't a passing inspiration. This wasn't emotional hype. This was a divine timestamp that marked the end of old cycles and the invitation into a new covenant. That moment, that day, that sacred seal, it split the heavens in your favor. It initiated angelic movement. It restructured timelines. And now one more delay could turn what was meant to bless you into a lesson that bruises. You are at the crossroads of breakthrough or judgment, and the mercy of God still waits for your yes. So I speak this over you now. By divine authority, you will not miss this moment. You will not fall back into slumber. You will not wander into delay. You will not be overtaken by confusion. You are waking up, rising up, stepping in, moving forward, and coming into alignment. You have not been forgotten. You have not been left behind. You are still chosen, still marked, still held by the hand of the Almighty. Let the fear fall off you now. Let the weight lift from your chest. Let the fog clear from your mind. The time of hesitation is over. This is the hour to move with clarity, obedience, and boldness. This is your final charge. Respond immediately. Not emotionally but spiritually. Not impulsively but faithfully. Heaven has already moved. The angels are already positioned. and the door is still open, but not forever. I leave you now with this final blessing. May the God who sees in secret reward you openly. May the seal of heaven on September 27 never lift from your life. May your yes echo through the heavens and cancel every demonic delay. May restoration, justice, and promotion overtake you like a flood. May you rise with fire, walk in favor, and never question again if you are chosen. Memorize this declaration and speak it aloud every morning for the next 7 days. I am sealed. I am summoned. I am surrendered. What heaven wrote about me is being fulfilled. I say yes, and I will not look back. This is not the end of a message. This is the activation of a mandate. You are not just listening. You are being launched. You are sealed, seen, and sent. Rise. Type I am sealed and sent in the comments if you receive this final blessing. Blessing code 9999 is covering your entry into destiny. As you rise from this moment, don't let this word stop at you. Let it move through you. There are others still walking in confusion, still unaware that their moment was sealed on September 27, still trapped in silence while heaven waits. And your support can carry this sound to them. When you give, you're not funding content, you're fueling the movement of God's voice. This isn't about helping a channel. This is about helping the chosen find their call. Heaven has stirred you. Now activate that stirring with prophetic generosity. 1 Samuel 2:30 says, "Those who honor me, I will honor." This is your chance to honor the word you've received. You can give right now through Super Thanks. Become a channel member or sow into this movement through PayPal. The link is in the video description below. Don't hesitate. Give as one who knows this word was from God, and let your giving seal your yes in the Spirit. Give now. Let heaven hear your agreement, not just with words but with action.